angry guy here, and women are rapidly ending up homeless with addictions on the streets and no help. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
All right, Katie. How
Hi.
old are you, Katie?
24.
Here
I'll
we
be
go
25
again,
in December.
So the interview earlier, I don't know for what reason, but audio's all messed up on it. So you're homeless?
Yes, I've been homeless for three years.
For 3 years?
Mhm.
What happened that you ended up out here in the streets?
My ex-fiance. I was with my fiance at the time, and we were driving a truck. Truck broke down in Tolson. I don't know how to pronounce it. And we called the people who was buying the truck from, because he was leasing to own it. And they were like, you know what, we don't want to sell it to you anymore. We're taking it back. And they pretty much just left us stranded out here. We were staying at the Premier Inns out there. We stayed in the Premier Inns for like 2 months straight before we got kicked out.
So where you staying at right now?
Wherever I can.
Camping tent?
No, the tents are illegal out here in Arizona. Like you can do rural camping, which is camping. Rural camping is only allowed 10 days at a time. So you like pitch your tent for 10 days, and 10 days later, you just move it down a block. 10 days later, move back, and you go back and forth. It's called rural camping, and the cops can't say anything about it. But I don't have a tent. I lay wherever I can lay my head at night.
Is it dangerous just sleeping anywhere like that? What kind of dangers do you go through?
I can't tell you how many times I've woken up with somebody over me. I can't tell you how many times I've woken up and everything I own is missing. Literally everything. I like it's some of the scariest things, going to sleep and not knowing what you're gonna find whenever you wake up. And that's why I try not to sleep. But body has to have sleep to survive, so I mean, I have to go with it. I just try to make sure whoever I'm around whenever I do fall asleep, I can trust. And that's like really hard too, because you can't really trust anybody out here. People are grimy. 3 years ago, if you had asked me, I would have told you rainbows and sunshine shot out of my asshole. Because that's exactly what happened. I thought the world was a good place, and that everybody had good in them. The streets made me do a 180, a 360, whatever the fuck it is. I'm bad at math.
With your family, you don't have no family out here?
I don't have family in general. When I was 18, I got pregnant, and my family disowned me pretty much. I have family that I've made out here, but actual blood family, no. No, I don't.
Why is that? Were they too strict or what?
I grew up in an extremely abusive, psycho-Christian household. And that's not something fun to grow up in, trust me.
How was it?
Whenever,
church every weekend?
No, I was too evil to go to church. And whenever you're 4 years old, getting held by your throat against the wall, a foot off the ground, until you pass out and you come to, and your stepmom asks you what it was like, and you tell her that you think you felt like you were dying. She tells you you're stupid. That's a stupid answer. Now she's never gonna ask you again. It's not the best feeling. I was 4. I don't think I deserved that. And it just got worse as I was getting older.
So you grew up with a stepmom?
Yeah,
What about your dad, biological dad?
My biological dad and my stepmom are the ones I grew up with. 1 second. Sorry. I spent good money on this. I grew up with my biological dad and my stepmom. And is that Frank? Oh no, you're not Frank. Are you Frank? Oh, okay. Sorry. If you see Frank, tell him I need him. Where? Guys, wait. Let me finish this. I'm coming. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
I've been looking for him for days. I'm trying to make sure he's okay.
All right.
But what was the question?
We were talking about your family and.
Oh yeah, I grew up with my stepmom and my dad, and my biological mom, I was told she died.
So you don't talk to any of them? You don't talk.
I talked to my biological mom. I talked to my biological mom. She is alive and well, except for, you know, back being broken 7 times. She's a severe drunk, and she's flipped over banisters whenever she gets drunk.
Where's she at? What state?
Texas.
Oh, in Texas?
Yeah, she's originally from Texas. Keeps getting sucked back to Texas. That's the same state I was born in.
Does she know what?
And by the way, guys, I'm on Ethernet now. There's nothing else I can do. Maybe buy a new computer. I don't think it's my computer, though. I think it's the internet connection. So, yeah, that's it. I'll keep working on it. Guys, this is absolutely sad. When you look at the condition that women are in today, by the way, guys, if you have a video that you want me to cover, to request a topic for a video, see the description below. I mean, guys, this is the decision that a lot of women have made. They chose the streets. She said that she broke up with her boyfriend and then she ended up homeless. However, there were many different options that she could have chosen. She's been homeless for about 3 years. She's only 24 years old. And you can see that her teeth, she has serious issues with her teeth, and that's likely a result of substance use, I'm thinking. And what's really sad is, a man could come and he could take her, get her teeth fixed very, very quickly, help her to gain some weight, hopefully lick that habit, clean her up, and within no time at all, she could be back on her feet. But the thing is that she would not even appreciate that. She would actually see that guy as at best like a crutch. And the guys that she would actually love, the men that she would truly love, would be the dudes on the streets. Like, she just asked for some dude named Frank, like that. These are the guys that she would love, like Tyrone. She'd be out there. She'd love Tyrone, or Brad Roan, because there's, that's a mixture of a Brad and a Tyrone. She would love Brad Roan, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but that's the reality that we live in. Like, no amount that you do for a woman will ever make her value. Actually doing less for her makes her value more. And it's a hard reality. It is a very, very hard reality that we live in today as men. Because I will say that it's toxic. We have this extremely toxic relationship between men and women today. And it's like, the more toxic you are as a man, the more women are drawn to you. And it's not healthy. It's really, really not healthy in Western society. Like, you have to stay away from that. That's another reason why men need to walk away from Western society, because you don't want to become the kind of man that Western women are genuinely attracted to. You don't want to be that guy. Those guys are not the greatest of guys, all right? There's a thing called a scum, and then we can add on another word called a bag, and those are the kinds of guys that unfortunately a lot of women in Western society are attracted to. And you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to look anything like that guy, because it sets a precedence for the type of person that you are going to become, right? And she may be attracted to it, but society won't be attracted to you. Society will view you as a total piece of not so good stuff, right? We can substitute the word trash right there. It's funny, like, my experiences as a man are so interesting, where, for example, the girl that I've done a lot of things for, she basically writes me off, has no interest in me, and she's there hooking up with this Chad, but then this Chad is showing me all this respect, and it's like, interesting, very, very interesting. And I'm a good looking guy, but it's just really, really interesting, because I can lead the men that she wants to hook up with. And it's like, why, this is toxic. This is absolutely toxic. Absolutely toxic. And why would I want you when you're now in your late 20s or your 30s, and now you want to settle down with me after you've been with all these dudes, and you just want me because of my money and my stability? I'm tall, tall, fit, money in the bank, significantly higher income than these guys out here. And you're like, and I know what my value is, but you only view me as a utility. Like it's such a backwards concept. And the only reason why is because, if I was for the streets, that would be a big turn on. But I don't have time for the streets. As a man, I have to work on myself. And that's how a lot of dudes are. As a man, when you get older, you don't have time for the streets. You have to buckle down. You have to put on your work boots. You've got things to do. You can't be out on the streets. You've got work in the morning, And that's the thing about women. Women don't want to date potential anymore. They want a guy when he's finished, after he's gone through all of the hardships, after he's built himself into something of value. They want to step in, and I'll command that. And it's like, excuse me? And I watched a video recently of this dude saying something like, it's harder for men today because they have to go and build all this value so that they can have a woman, they can afford a woman, they can afford a nanny and all this other stuff. And I'm like, afford a nanny? Guys, the future of America, I'm telling y'all right now, is immigrants. The future of America is immigrants. Men in Western society no longer want to really exist in Western society. They don't want to be here, or if they're here, they're only going to do enough to survive. They're not having relationships in Western society anymore. If they want to marry, if they want to date, they're going overseas. And when you look at the Gen Z idiots, they're in such bad shape. Like, guys, I grew up in New York. And in New York, we had a thing called the Regents exams. And I'm guessing that in different states, they have something similar. And basically, you didn't have to get a Regents diploma, because you could get a Regents diploma depending on how well you do on them. But you have to pass a certain number of these exams to graduate. Like, you cannot graduate unless you pass a certain number of these exams. You have to have like a certain math score to graduate, or you're not going to graduate. And now they're talking about getting rid of the Regents exams in New York, and they're likely going to do it. Like, because that's how bad Gen Z is. Gen Z is being accepted to colleges now before they even apply. If that doesn't tell you that it's a scam, I don't know what will. All right? These people could never pass the GED exam. They cannot pass the GED exam, and they're just being promoted from one grade to another. This is such an insanity. All right? And guys, they don't have the skill sets. They do not have the skill sets. They will be the least underprepared generation. They're falling into numerous scams more than any other generation rapidly. Oh my gosh. The future is immigration. America will have to import immigrants with the skill sets needed to do the jobs that Gen Z cannot do. Millennials can't hold everything down all on their own. And as other groups are retiring and leaving the economy, they're gonna have to start importing immigrants in, that have work boots. That when we say immigrants, like literally, we need plumbers, we need electricians. Heck, we need some garbage. We even need garbage men, because a lot of these people are not willing to pick up the trash anymore. Like, we literally need blue collar workers. We need them desperately, because Gen Z does not have those skill sets. They don't have those skill sets. This woman is Gen Z. This is a Gen Z woman. And this is where she's at 24 years old. And she's been on the streets for 3 years. Telling y'all. Women are rapidly ending up homeless with addictions on the streets and no help. What do you guys think regarding this? I want to hear your thoughts. Let's talk about them in the comments. Also, turn on notifications to never miss another video again, because a lot of y'all don't have notifications on. I don't know what y'all are on. So turn those notifications on so you'll always get a notification whenever I put out a new video. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.